is up, all my dorks, nerds, geeks, and gamers? It's your host Ghost here, and I'm joined with
NikeY43.
And you are watching the Dork Stand Movie Minute. I know this is a different type of format, but we want to switch it up for you guys. Today we're talking about episode 5 of Wandavision. A lot has happened since the last episode. The last episode was the episode 4, where we got the big reveal with Sword. A lot of people thought that should have been episode 1. I don't know how I feel about that, but we're on episode 5. Today we are talking about all the stuff that happened in that episode. We're talking about the twins aging up. So they appeared on the show. Man, let's think back. What was the first thing that happened in that episode? Episode 5.
Yeah, well, it was Wanda and Vision. That was what was.
This is our home now.
That was the intro, right? It was that.
Yes. Yes, it was like a 90s sitcom, Full House style, San Francisco vibes kind of.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was like. It was like Full House.
Yes,
exactly.
intro style. Yes. On top of that, we got, like I said, we had the twins. They were in their cradles. They were crying. This is how it started. We had the twins crying in their cradles.
They couldn't get to sleep. That's right.
Yes, they couldn't get them to sleep, and they ended up dancing. They had a little dance number with the babies. It was a little thing. On top of that, Agnes shows up, or Agatha, not Agnes, sorry. Spoilers if she does turn out to be Agnes. Agatha shows up at the right time, and she wants to take care of the kids. And she's like, well, I can get them to sleep or whatever. And Wanda's kind of down with it, but Vision isn't. Vision's not down with it. And she actually says a line where she says, do you want me to take this from the top? Where she messes up. And Vision catches on that maybe not everything's right with Wanda, and maybe she is behind all this and actually doing this stuff. So I thought that was a really cool moment in the show for them to actually go through and do that sort of thing. After that, man, what happens after that? We got Agatha. She sprays this perfume over the kids, and then all of a sudden the kids start aging. So for me, that's a little suspicious as a character watching.
See, I'm thinking it's just the twins. I think it's just the twins aging themselves. But yeah, you think it's.
I think
Agatha.
It's her that set it into motion, either for her purposes or Ralph, who we still haven't seen, but yet he was referenced once again in this episode. Yeah. So Ralph is somebody. Either that's the Grim Reaper or Mephisto. I don't know.
Nightmare.
Anybody. Mojo, Shadow King. We're just throwing out names.
Everyone's got. I'm telling you, after the ending of episode 5, yes, they can go anywhere.
They can go anywhere. We're not quite there yet, but he's teasing a lot. But it's a nuts episode, guys. This is another banger, like episode 4 was.
I thought it was even better, actually.
Even better?
Like, cause I liked that we had some more Wanda and Vision, but we saw more real, cause especially with the babies crying, and then that was when Vision was tripping because Wanda was like, it's fine, because Agnes saw the twins age, seen actual Vision, in his
and they weren't hiding their powers. That's what it was. Yes.
And then they broke off and went into the living room, and they were getting heated.
Okay.
Or that's where she was ready to end the show, wasn't it? When she's like had the credits roll.
No. We had the dog. The dog was next.
Oh yeah.
The dog was next. The kids grew up to like 8 years old. I'd say 7 or 8.
5.
5.
That's
okay,
right.
5. Yes.
They went from cradles to 5. That's
yes.
Right.
And then they wanted this puppy. They found this puppy in the sink and they were washing it. Apparently they found this dog or whatever.
Yeah, Agatha plays a big role in this
I believe so as well. Yes.
Because she's there for it.
Yes, but they find this dog and they asking Wanda and Vision if they can keep this dog. Vision is against it, and he's like, you kids aren't ready. You don't understand the life and death values that you need to know to raise an animal.
Yeah. Basically, he comes off with, "You're not old enough to have a puppy."
Yes, and they say, "Well, what age is old enough?" And he coughs. He says, 10. And then the kids look at Wanda, and they age right before her eyes.
They look at each other. They look at her. They're like, and then they look at each other.
Yes.
And I thought they shake a little bit, and all of a sudden they're
then they age up right before your eyes, and then they're 10 years old. So then they end up keeping this dog. Wanda lets them keep it or whatever. It ends up running away from the house. Speaking of which, let's go back to the dog. But before they decide to keep it, Agnes shows up and she's like, "Well, conveniently, I've got this doghouse for you.
That's right.
So if you want to keep this dog, I've got a doghouse." So they brought the doghouse over.
Because I think Vision even says something. He's like, "Do you notice?" Like he pulls Wanda to the side. He's like, "You always notice that Agnes always is like there with the right thing all the time."
She's always got the right thing to say at the right time. Like she's a scriptwriter or something. Like she's in control almost. Which is kind of weird, but we'll get back to that. Maybe I'll talk about it in another show called Picture Predictions, which you guys should check out soon. Probably going to drop very soon here. But back to the topic. We've got, so they take the dog in, or whatever. The dog runs off. The dog ends up, well, let's cut to, then after that, the dog runs off. They're looking for the dog. We don't know what happened to the dog. We cut to Vision in the office that he works at, and he gets an email from a sword agent telling him kind of what's happening on the outside world. And he kind of starts piecing this stuff together mentally in his own mind, which is another question on its own, how he's able to do that and why he has a conscience himself. But to see him see this email, then this employee comes up to him, and he's just...
I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I don't either, but he's acting, he's acting normal, goofy self, like a sitcom style goofy self.
Yeah, because he tells Vision, he goes, "You're really good with computers." He goes, "It's like you speak their language."
Yes, yep. And then Vision actually does the mind thing where he can see what you're thinking and feeling through the temples, and that's what he did to this guy, and he starts freaking out, like losing his mind. "My dad's sick, I gotta call him, where's my phone? It hurts, it's painful."
Yep.
So we know that Wanda is hurting people, intentionally or unintentionally. That's still up for debate for some people. Man, I'm trying to think, did we get anything with Monica Rambeau this episode?
Yeah, they were talking because she was letting them know. Because you remember she was coming out of that hospital bed because they had to run more tests on her.
Yes.
And they were like, you could be unstable, there could be some side effect, we don't know yet, but she was like, "I'm ready to go," and then she walks out.
Yes, and actually there was a scene in there that caught my attention, was the brain scan. They pulled out the brain scan and she was like, "It's empty," and she's like, "We got to do another scan," and she's like, No, I don't have time for that." And I was like, that's kind of strange that the brain is just like, you know what I mean, it's weird. But we know that she gets powers in the Marvel Universe eventually, so I'm sure we're going to see that in Wandavision in these future episodes down the line. So after that, Vision finds out that Wanda is kind of pulling the strings somewhat and doing these things. He goes home, he tries to confront her, and that is when she starts rolling the credits on him. She's like, "No, we ain't talking." And she literally rolls the credits on him, and
it's like an actual sitcom. Like you hear the outro music playing.
Yes.
The credits rolling. She's walking out, and the Vision's hot on her tail. And I'm like, this is getting good.
Yes. And I have to say, Paul Bettany's performance and Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany's performance in that scene, where you could feel the heat between them. Like Paul Bettany yelling at her was kind of slightly disturbing, but like it fit the scene, the tone they were going for right from the get-go. Like it was very well done scene, very awesome. So Vision starts to get an understanding that Wanda is behind all this, and he doesn't believe a word she says now. So that trust is now broken.
Yeah, because he even said, he goes, "I don't know who I am." He just knows about, like when the show started, that's where his memory starts.
Yes.
But he knows there's something else.
There's something deeper going on. But yeah, once Westview started, all he remembers is Westview, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of then, at the very end, we're at the very end now, we hear a knock at the door, and
hold on, before that.
Okay, yes.
We actually get to see Vision use his powers for the first time.
Yes.
Because they get so heated in that comment that he actually starts levitating, rises up, and Wanda follows him up, and I'm like, this is gold. And then they cut it off, like that's where they left it, and I thought it was perfect. So I was like, yes, because now it's like, I think we're about to really start entering the MCU now.
Action phase of
like
the
we're
show.
about to, I think they're about to just hit us in the face with something now.
I'm really hoping so. Okay, but yes, they're about to battle. It looks sick. Like literally, it's an amazing set piece. And then this is
when you knock on the door is what interrupts it.
Yes, they get a knock on the door, and that's when Vision's like, "Oh, really? Another inconvenient."
Yeah.
Great.
We're thinking it's going to be Agatha.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm thinking
Or that's
too.
who I thought it was.
Yes, I thought so as well.
Because I thought she was going to come in and be like, hey, I heard,
some solution
screaming or whatever.
something.
I got lotion or something and I'll help you stop.
Yep.
Whatever she has, or spraying with something.
So, who knows? But she has something going on with the show.
Yeah.
But we get the knock at the door, and Vision's like, oh, convenient knock at the door. I can't believe word you say. I don't trust that this is something to get you out of this mess that you brought to yourself. Who knows? Whatever. She opens the door. We see the back of the head, and it's gray, and you're like, oh, right away, that's Quicksilver. And then it cuts to the front, and it is Evan Peters' Quicksilver from the X-Men franchise, and not the MCU version, not the...
It is the Fox property previously.
Yes, it is the Quicksilver from the X-Men Days of Future Past, X-Men Apocalypse, and X-Men not Dark Phoenix. Was it Dark Phoenix? Yes, Dark Phoenix. I didn't watch it either. But
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Evan Peters. We apologize. But the strange thing was, to me, he wasn't acting in character. So I don't know if he's the MCU version of Quicksilver. Well, we already have the MCU version of Quicksilver. That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't work like a J. Jonah Jameson does, where he would, like in the Spider-Man universe where they did that. So I have no clue where they're going to take this. Does this open the multiverse? Does this open just the Fox universe, or does this open just mutants in general? I have no clue. But we're going to keep watching. We're going to see where this series goes. We are episode 5 in now. 4 more to go, so we're almost done. And then after that, we're hopping right into The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because that premieres...
March.
Once this show is done, it should be right on.
I think it's like the second week of March, I believe.
Yep.
I'm not sure what day, but probably Friday or whatever.
Yeah, most likely Friday or Saturday or something like that. But we will be on that. So what is your final thoughts on this episode in general?
I thought the episode was phenomenal. Like I said, I would give it a 10 out of 10 definitely. And I can't wait to see where it goes from here on out. Like I said, can't see who's right. Or if we're both wrong. Or if we're both right. They could introduce and have Nightmare and Mephisto in there together.
They could. I'm not too sure. I mean, Nightmare or Mephisto, they're both awesome choices. But either way, guys, I hope you enjoy these episodes. Make sure you leave your comments down below what you're thinking of WandaVision episode 5 so far. Let me know what you think is going to happen in episode 6. Let me know what you think is going to happen at the end of the series. Let us know down below who you think the bad guy is. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share these videos. Keep it right here on Dorkston. I've been your host, Ghost, joined with...
Matthew Y43.
Adios, guys.
See ya.